It's not the best written work, no. Obviously, Toriyama, classic of him, he forgot things and there was contradictions, but at the end of the day, he made characters that made you feel, and each character you could relate to some way, some shape or form. This is a man who did a lot of research on different religions, different cultures, and he put all of it together to form this series that I think no matter where you were in the world, you could relate to it.
As you said, flaws and all when it comes to the story writing, because you know how nitpicky I can be. There's something about his character writing that is very specific to Akira Toriyama. I'm someone who reads a ton of manga. I watch a ton of anime. I am very big on, if you're going to do a villain or if you're going to give a villain a redemption story, what that looks like. And this is kind of why, as much as anybody who knows me know, I'm a Broly fanatic. But when it comes to Vegeta, that character will always have a special place to me because of how he was written. You've literally seen somebody go from hating a character and what he had for Goku when they first met, to literally them becoming best friends, and it doesn't feel forced. To actually make that seem natural, to have the redemption, the life lessons, the understanding your own limitations, understanding where you are sometimes at fault for being your own biggest blockade and getting to that next level. You really see that with Vegeta, and it's written really well.
One thing about Dragon Ball, I think, that separates it from a lot of shonen anime is the lore of the world. It creates such an open lore that people are inspired to write these stories. I've read stories about what was it like when Vegeta worked for Frieza, and not just in a stereotypical way, but a really psychologically in-depth way that it really resonates with you because it could happen. And a lot of stories don't do that. They don't really open up their characters to bigger possibilities, so that anything that you insert automatically feels like, you know, it can't happen. But Dragon Ball has these infinite possibilities of what can happen based, what you said, son, about the way that he writes, and what you said too, Lennox, the way that he writes, the way that he makes his characters is so uniquely Akira Toriyama, and being able to witness that in the fandom, and it made me want to write. I've spent so many hours, I wrote so many stories. I have a fan fiction and an archive of our own page where it's literally nothing but Dragon Ball stories, because it felt infinite. Anything could have brewed from that. Then you see these artworks that people are doing, and I'm like, I want to do that. I don't want to just draw like Akira Toriyama style, but I want to draw my style, but like Akira Toriyama style. And nothing else had made me feel like that. So literally, if it wasn't for him sitting down and writing Goku and writing the original Dragon Ball, I don't even know what my art journey would look like. I don't know if I would have reached the levels of creativity that it did with me for writing, that it did with me for drawing. It introduced me, like you were saying, son, to some great people. I met people from Malaysia, from Greece, from Spain. I would have never talked to these people if I was not in this fandom. And the only thing that connected us was our love for these characters, specifically Vegeta and Bulma, like Chris Sabat. I met